Allergies. We all experience them in one way or another, but what we don't realize is that they may be affecting us more than we think. Allergies can lead to so many mystery ailments, but it can also be the cause in ineffective weight loss. Our guest today, Dr. Susanne Bennett, is here to tell us how we can lose weight, feel better, and get on the road to our best health. So tell us a bit about how you got started in this whole thing, because it's so cool.
The first 7 years of my practice was all sports medicine, chiropractic, sports medicine. I had a big physical therapy rehab center. And then when I got pregnant, what ended up happening, my son, Cody, was born, and he started having allergies left and right. He started getting hives from head to toe. He couldn't breathe, anaphylactic reactions. I mean, the doctors really, all they did was give us drugs to deal with the symptoms, but they couldn't tell us what really was the cause of it. So little by little, he just started getting worse. By the time he was about a year and a half, I said, we got to do something else. I've got to help him because the doctors aren't helping him. So I started going to school. And I just basically made my mission to save my son's life because he had anaphylactic reactions too. And by the time he was about 3.5, 4 years old, he was completely free of allergies and anaphylactic reactions.
And what would have happened had you not gone down this road? What do you think if you just stuck with the doctor?
Well, the typical would be that Cody would be continuously on drugs for life. Cody's now 20. He's at Berkeley.
And is he doing great?
Completely beautiful. So I condensed all the years of learning to help Cody into my book, The 7-Day Allergy Makeover.
Ooh, which we have right here.
Oh, there you go.
Guys, you can get this on Amazon. You can get it on Sue's site. Just pick it up.
Well, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
The 7 days, you have different areas of your lifestyle. So one is nutrition. You know, you said earlier in the intro about losing weight, and there's no doubt food has everything to do with how
because we don't realize our guts get so inflamed.
That's right.
When I first saw Sue, within, I'd say, a week, all of a sudden my stomach was flatter, and I've dealt with weight issues in the past, and they're kind of gone now because I don't think about it, because I look in the mirror, my stomach is flat, like your program, Flat Sexy Belly.
Yes.
Can we talk about flat sexy belly? Because summer's coming, and let's face it, we all want a flat sexy belly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt. The Flat Sexy Belly really is about eating the right foods that reduce inflammation in the gut. Because majority of the individuals out there are walking around with a gut that's bigger than you want. And not just that, that's actually can be dangerous for other diseases in the future. Because when you have bloating, gas, irritation, inflammation, fat around the waist, that big belly, right? What that means is that you've got inflammation, other areas too. And it all starts from the gut. So there's a list of foods. Within the list, I have a do list and I have a don't list. And in the don't list, there's tons of food that have what's called fermentable carbohydrates. Now, people don't understand what that is, fermentable carbohydrates. What is that? Well, basically, it's natural sugars that are in certain types of vegetables, fruits, grains, and even dairy products. They actually cause fermentation in your gut. Think about when you're making bread. And there's a little yeast in it, and bread has gluten and sugar, right? It starts to rise up. It gets bigger, and the same thing will happen in your gut. It'll start to swell up. There's a way you can tell if you've got inflammation in your gut, and it's what I call the waist to hip ratio. So if you have a measuring tape, just like a tailor would, you put it right around your waistline and measure it at your belly button. The second measurement is your hip. The hip is right where the inseam of your leg hit your body, in your groin area. That is where you measure the second. So that is waist to hip. The ratio for a woman should be 0.8. A ratio for a man should be 0.9. That's a very important fact, because once you know, oh my gosh, my ratio is over 0.8, I'm a woman, that means, wow, you got some gut inflammation. There's leaky gut, and what that means is all of these things that you might be ingesting, not knowingly, of course, you are irritating your gut, causing these holes, they're gaps in your gut lining. And what happens when they have gaps, then food that are undigested could go in, which can trigger hives, rashes, acne, adult acne. So by eating the right foods, eating the foods that are low in fermentable carbohydrates, you're gonna cinch up that waist, reduce that inflammation, tighten up those junctions, and you're gonna have less allergies.
Is there a certain food that you see constantly that people, once they cut it out, they immediately start feeling better? Yes. What is it?
Number one is dairy, because as an adult, after 5 years old, we do not produce the enzyme to break it down. A lot of people, they eat dairy, but then these individuals come in I've got acid reflux. I'm constantly blowing my nose. I've got postnasal drip. I'm snoring. Coughing all the time. I've got rashes like eczema.
It's so funny too how it could be such a variety of things
Symptoms, yes.
for just this one product.
One food.
I got sick for about a month and I did every test imaginable. No one could figure out what was wrong with me. Finally, I come to see you within 15 minutes. Guys, 15 minutes. You knew exactly what it was. Put me on a specific diet, gave me the specific supplements to target exactly what the root cause was.
That's right.
And I got better. What are some other stories that you've seen walk through your doors? Because I know you've seen a lot.
I have a lot. This one man comes in and he actually thought he's had acid reflux. So I started doing what I do. I do, in a sense, what I call the medical detective work. And I found out that it had to do with dust mite allergies and toxins in his pillow that he had for 25 years.
Yes.
He's using the same pillow.
For 20, you probably shouldn't be using the same pillow for 25 years, right?
Every 2 years, you gotta get a new one.
To switch it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this patient didn't want to let it go. He was like so bummed. But what was going on every night? He's sleeping with this pillow that was loaded with mold, bacteria, sweat, dust mites, bugs, who knows what else. And that was causing the allergic reaction, causing the postnasal drip that was causing the gut issue.
Muscle testing is this super unique process you do. What is it and why is it so effective?
Yeah. Muscle testing is my way of looking into your body without you really telling me anything. So
Yeah.
And we use the first and last finger, and I have you hold it really tight, squeeze it really tight. And when you squeeze it really tight, I'm triggering a neurological impulse from your brain to your hand. So when we do allergy testing, I can give you food in your hand, and we can test to see if you're allergic. I have at my office, as you see, I have 4,000 or 5,000 vials that are the energetic patterns of each food, allergies like dog hair and things like that. And that's how I can hone in on what's the root cause of your headache, what's the root cause of your postnasal drip. When I show this to people in the beginning, they're just like, oh my God, this is so bizarre. But when I talk about it as like it's a polygraph test, they read the electricity in your body, and there's a machine that can read it. And the machine can detect whether you're actually lying or not lying, telling the truth or not, or if you're stressed. So when your body is not allergic to it, your body's gonna be strong. Your electrical currents are gonna be its optimal state. But when you're allergic, and I put, let's say, peanuts and you have a peanut allergy, then your body's gonna weaken naturally. Your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, your brain, everything goes weaker.
I was away on a trip and I came back and I came to see you and you were doing the muscle testing and I wasn't allowed to have raw vegetables. And you said to me, have you had any salads? After the muscle testing, and I was in New York and I thought, oh, I'm at this nice restaurant. They for sure washed everything properly. I'll totally be fine. And without me saying a word, Sue says to me, did you have salads? And I had two. And it's just so cool that you knew just by doing that.
Just my muscle testing. I love raw vegetables. I love nutrient-dense foods, but only do it at home when you're able to clean it really well. Very often there's a telltale sign if you've eaten mold or the salad that's kind of loaded with, let's say, mildewy, moldy, lettuce that's kind of like limped. The telltale sign is you get a tickle in your throat. It tickles. Like you get a tickle, it's like, ooh, and you swallow, it kind of hurts. It's a little sore. That tells you you've been exposed to fungus, you've been exposed to mold and yeast.
It's so incredible because these are all things that we've experienced at some point or another and didn't know what it was from.
You think you're actually getting a cold, right? But I'll tell you, majority of the time, when you get that tickle, it's not a virus yet. It's the fungal exposure. And then it changes the pH in your throat and in your nose. And that change in pH is when the virus starts to attack.
I think we need to alert the press because I think that you may have just figured out the cure for the common cold.
Oh, to me it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's already solved it.
I don't get sick.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Absolutely.
And thank you for changing medicine and making it so much better. If you want to sign up for Sue's Flat Sexy Belly program, click on the link below. We have a special discount for all our fancy hippie viewers. And until next time, I'm Lauren Ebersol. Stay fancy, fabulous, and fun.